Hello YouTube, it's me, your boy B3, back with another kicking action figure review. Got this guy from HobbyLink Japan. It is the Kamen Rider Grease Blizzard figure from Bandai Japan, Rider Kicks figure Legend Rider series. I've reviewed one other Rider Kicks figure. I've pre-ordered some others and I have some coming as well. This is the second one. First one I reviewed was not from the Legend Rider series. It was from the Armor series. Zeo here. But you'll see later in size comparisons. But I really loved Build, and I really loved Grease in Build. Grease only used this form for a very, very, very short time. But it was really cool. I love the Blizzard Knuckle. I think it's dope. And I wanted to get this Grease because I think there might have been... Was there a Soto for Build? I don't like the Sotos, so I didn't get that. And I'm not even sure if there was a Blizzard Soto. There might have been. And there was a figure art. I don't even know if the figure art's out yet, to be completely honest, because I didn't want the figure art. I didn't want it. I didn't want to pay that much for a form that was used once. So Rider Kicks figure it is, and it actually looks like a really good figure, you know? The Ride Armor figure, the Ride Armor line is a gimmick line, because the armor is the gimmick. You buy armor packs to put on Zeo and Gez and stuff. But this guy doesn't have a gimmick. The Legend Rider series is without gimmick. No gimmicks at all. And right now they're really just doing Build and X-Aid figures, and I'm going to show you the box while I talk about this. They're really just doing Build and X-Aid figures. However, hopefully they'll be doing maybe some older riders, and I would really like some Drive figures, because there were a bunch of Kamen Rider Drive figures that either didn't get figures made in the Tire Kokon series, and they only had figure arts, and then lots of the figure arts are just exclusives that cost a ton. You know, I have the Zeo. Not going to get that Build. I kind of want that Cross Z. I'm not going to get that Grease more than likely, because I have the Bottle Change Rider Grease, which I'll be reviewing soon. I've had it forever, and I've just never reviewed it. And then I'm definitely getting that Magma Cross Z. That's my favorite Cross Z form. I'm definitely getting that. So yeah. Let's get Blizzard out of package. And here he is, out of package. Meton's biggest fan, Kamen Rider Grease Blizzard. Oh, this figure I actually already like a lot more than the Zeo. So I think the Legend Rider series they might put a little more work into, since it doesn't have a gimmick. So I do like it a bit more. It's still a smaller figure, but I don't really mind. The size, now, because in the Zeo review, I was like, the size is a little weird, because now we won't scale with lots of my previous riders, but if they're going to keep making previous riders in this scale, then I don't mind that the Zeo is small. So I'm making a bit of a retraction about that Zeo, because when I got that Zeo figure kind of when it came out, and so I didn't know we were getting all of these previous riders in forms we didn't have before. So the Legend Rider series was a good idea, and I think what they should do, instead of giving us really gimmicky lines from now on, like the Level Up Rider line or the Bottle Change line, they should give us just more Legend Riders and keep making Kamen Riders from the past. I would even like some Showa Riders. I would love a Kamen Rider Stronger and a Shin Kamen Rider. I really like a Kabuto. There are a few I would like. So, I hope they keep making riders from other shows, but then also just throw riders from whatever the current show is into this line, keep them in this scale, and I think that would be really fun, you know? I don't mind the scale as long as I can get a bunch of riders in the same scale that can go together. I'm going to show you his accessories first. Before I do, I want to note that he does have the Blizzard Knuckle sculpted into the driver, right? Because he has to have the Blizzard Knuckle in the driver to transform into this state. But he can also use the Blizzard Knuckle as a melee weapon. So he comes with a Blizzard Knuckle, right there. And he comes with an alternate driver. So if you have him displayed with the Knuckle in hand, then you can have the alternate driver without the Knuckle in there. And that's definitely something they did for adult collectors. This line is kind of the line that's for kids, but they're also definitely playing to that adult collector a little bit with that swappable driver. And then he also has this kind of open pointing hand and a holding hand. He doesn't have a lot of hands because he has a big claw on one arm, but those are his accessories, you know? And those are really the perfect accessories for him. These are exactly the accessories this figure needed, and I'm very happy that we're now getting like interchangeable hands and stuff. They used to just have articulated fingers, but they didn't hold weapons as well with the articulated fingers. The fingers were very fun, but they didn't hold weapons well at all. So yeah, let's look at the detail and paint on this guy. You know, it's not bad. It could be a bit better for the price point. Some of these are up to $30, and that's because they're imported, right? These don't have an American distributor as far as I know. So you got to get them off like Hobby Link Japan and whatnot. So they're a little more expensive, but I got this guy at a discount anyways. I paid about $20 for him. And I feel like if I have to pay $20 for a figure, the back should be painted. You know what I mean? Like they made them smaller. And I guess that extra money kind of just went to accessories because we didn't get much more paint. However, he does have a lot of nice metallic blue on him, which looks really good. This emblem on his shoulder pads look great. This emblem on the shoulder pad looks great. The eyes look cool. You know, he's a very good-looking figure. I like him. This isn't blue, but I kind of don't mind, to be completely honest. I love his claw. Very cool claw. This claw is... they were kind of lazy with Grease's form, because it's mostly a repaint, and then they took this claw from a form that Build used like twice. Like, I think it was like Phoenix or something. Yeah, so... this claw is from a Build form they stopped using. So this suit was basically just a repainted Grease with these fancy emblems and stuff, and then a claw. That's almost entirely what this form is. But I like it. I think it's a really cool form still. It's a simple change, but it's an effective change. You know what I mean? So yeah, the detail's great. The paint on the front and sides is great. Just wish there was a little black on the... if it was just black on the back of the legs, then I think I would at least, you know, be happy with that. So now we're going to talk about articulation. They're better... these rider... I like the articulation on these figures better than I do the gimmick figures. So on the gimmick figures, we don't have anything on the torso or ab. Then we have a great torso joint on these. The heads on lots of gimmick figures don't move well. They don't move at all on the Build figures. On my Bottle Change Rider Grease, his head doesn't move at all, but this guy's head moves a bunch. As you saw, you can get the regular Grease too. The shoulder pad articulates so that you can move the arm more up and down, forward and back, you know. You got a swivel right there on the elbow, a bend on the elbow, a wrist swivel, which is pretty cool. And you have those same joints over here on this arm, except you can also move the fingers of the claw. You see? You can move them individually, even. That's a really good touch. The claw articulation surprised me. I almost didn't expect it to be articulated. An American toy manufacturer would not have articulated that claw, I feel like. Not on a figure of this scale. You kind of have a rotation here. There's no thigh swivel anymore. You can still rotate the legs like this, but there's no thigh swivel. They removed the thigh swivel in favor of the torso, and I think that was a good choice. You got a pretty good knee bend for a single joint. up and down on the foot, ankle pivot, side to side. You know, it's on a ball peg. You know how those move. Forward and back on the legs, that I'm in and out. Did I mention all that? You know, this, his bottle holder barely hinders it, but it does hinder it just a tiny little bit. So yeah, that's Articulation. He moves quite well. He moves quite well. So yeah, I already like him a lot more than the Zeo. And speaking of the Zeo, or Geo, I've heard lots of people pronouncing it Geo. I don't know, I've only seen the first few episodes. I decided, I think I'm going to wait to finish that show after it's done. And then I'll do more. But here he is with Legend Rider series Armor Change. Sorry, his feet are all crooked. Armor Change series Zeo base state. So let's put that back out there. Hello. And Grease is actually a little taller and everything. You know, I think the Zeo is a little smaller than the Grease because once you attach the armor to Zeo, then he'll be a little bigger. And that's what they want you to do, is have armor on him. So that, I think, works out, you know. Grease is a tiny bit bigger to help him fit with Zeo when Zeo has armor on. These will probably scale well with your Decade gimmick figures as well, because they were a little smaller. And then we have some previous gimmick figures. I kind of showed this guy for half a second. But from the Level Up Rider line, we have Kamen Rider Genome Level 2, one of my favorite villains. And you see he's much too big. He's more figure art size, right? Just like Build, Rabbit Tank, from the Bottle Change Rider series. So if you want a Rabbit Tank build that scales with this Grease, you have to get the Legend Rider series Rider Kicks figure. This won't cut it. But there isn't a build Blizzard for this line, the Bottle Change Rider line, but the figure arts Blizzard will scale with this build, just so you know. Because those figures are about the same size as figure arts, and I'm going to prove that right now by showing him with a figure art. This is the 20 Kamen Rider Kicks version of the SH Figure Arts Kamen Rider Xaid. So yeah, you see they're too big. So he's going to pretty much need to scale with his own line. Which is whatever, you know. And you can if you like monsters, there's some cool monster figures that'll scale well with him. Not really like Kamen Rider monsters, but if you just want some generic monsters, there are lots of cheap Ultraman Spark Dolls that you can get that are just monsters. You can pretend that's a Smash. I mean, Cyber Gomora, the Cyber Gomora Spark Doll here kind of looks like a Smash. Just a little bit. You know? And he's about the height of Ultraman Spark Dolls, like this Ultra Hero Orb, Ultraman Orb Thunder Breaster. So, you know, I think Bandai Japan is trying to shift its figures into this scale, because they shifted Ultraman figures into this scale a while back, and now they're starting to shift Kamen Rider into this scale. We still have 6-inch Kamen Rider figures, and also figure art size and etc. So I'm glad they didn't just, you know, completely change everything all at once like Ultraman did. However, I didn't mind when Ultraman did it, so I probably would have been fine. So yeah, that, I think, is size comparisons for Grease Blizzard. So all in all, what are my final thoughts on the Rider Kicks figure Legend Rider series Kamen Rider Grease Blizzard? Well, he's really cool. I love the Kamen Rider build show. I love the Kamen Rider Grease character. This form, even though it's a pretty simple form change, and was his only real form change, he had that double weapon thing, but that wasn't technically a form change. It was just a weapon upgrade. You know, I think he's dope. I like it. I really, really do. And if you like Kamen Rider Grease. I am going to review another Kamen Rider Grease figure soon, so definitely hit that subscribe button. Remember, comment, hit that like. We have other channels as well with lots of other Toku stuff. Our B3 Productions channel, which is our second channel, has a bunch of other Toku stuff on it. We also do action figure collection updates there, so you can see what action figures we get, and you can tell us which ones you want us to review first. So that's it. Thank you all once again for your support, and I'll see you all later.